Hi everyone, my name is Dennis Brown and I'm an executive consultant with Ambit Energy. And today I just wanted to try to help you out and share some information when your family and friends come back to you and say that they've done some research about your Ambit Energy business and they have some concerns about some of the things that they've read online, whether it be reviews or otherwise. And so today I'm going to specifically hone in on a site called ConsumerAffairs.com, which positions itself as what they call a consumer advocacy site. But what I'm going to share with you today is just the facts. Okay, I'm going to share with you the facts about this site, and I'm going to share with you some information that you can utilize to help your people know and realize that Consumer Affairs is number one. Here's the facts: is that they are not associated with any federal, state, or government agency. They are not a consumer advocacy organization. What they are is a privately held business, okay, that owns this website, and what they do is they make money by selling advertising online advertising. So what they do is they have advertisers on their site that pay them for being on their site and pay them for people clicking on their ads. Here's a perfect example. I'm on the Verizon Wireless Consumer Affairs site. And you can see below, here's where it says Business VoIP Solutions, Direct TV Package, Grade My PPC Landing, Top 10 Home Insurance. If I were to click on one of these right now, what it's going to do is it's going to go to that advertiser's site. And at this point right now, what's happened is that advertiser, the top10homeinsurance.com, actually paid ConsumerAffairs.com money for me to click on that link. Okay, and believe it or not, the ads are actually served by Google. You can see this is a Google AdSense ad, and Google is actually the advertiser that does that. Oddly enough, what you won't find on this site is you won't find a review site on Google. So I don't know, you can ascertain whether that's legitimate or not, because I know that I've had plenty of complaints about Google in all the years I've been using them, but there's nowhere on the Consumer Affairs site can you find any complaints about Google. So getting back to the point is that they make money. One of the primary ways they do it is they make money by selling advertising, and they make that by people searching on this. They pull up Verizon, they see these ads, and they click on it. Okay, that's one of the ways. The second way that you don't see and that you won't find any information on, but is a fact, is that ConsumerAffairs.com charges businesses like Verizon, like any business that has a negative review on here, they charge them to properly respond to those reviews. So what they do is then they charge thousands, and I've heard even as much as tens of thousands of dollars a year, okay, to respond to the reviews that are submitted through Consumer Affairs. Okay, that's another fact. The third fact is that Consumer Affairs, every review that comes in, let's take a look at this review right here by Rick from Seattle, Washington, okay? Rick from Seattle, Washington filed this review. And the fact of the matter is that Consumer Affairs doesn't even validate in any way, shape, or form. They do not contact Rick. They do not require him to provide any proof of documentation. And anybody can go on this site, whether you're a customer or not, and complain about any company for any reason, and Consumer Affairs will not validate it in any way, shape, or form. That's a fact, okay? You know, and one of the last things I want to share with you is that here's a perfect example. Verizon Wireless, there's probably a lot of people that are watching this video that use Verizon Wireless. And the fact of the matter is Verizon Wireless they've got over 1,100 negative reviews. You can see it right here. They've got over, anything below a 3 is a negative review. They've got over 1,100 negative reviews. Now, that may seem like a lot, but in reality, you know, Verizon Wireless has millions and millions of customers, so it's a very small percentage. But of course, when you read a negative review, you know, it can really skew your thought process and really taint your opinion on a brand or a company or a service like Verizon. But the fact of the matter is, if you have a Verizon phone right now, you're not going to go cancel your Verizon service because Rick has a complaint in Washington that you don't even know is valid and could have been put up there by Sprint PCS, you know, because they could have been trying to compete directly with Verizon. So here's another thing I want to share with you. That Verizon's just one of them. Let's pull up another one. Let's pull up AT&T. All right, we'll pull up AT&T. the reviews on AT&T. AT&T obviously is another large service provider that most people use, either Verizon, AT&T. So we're going to pull up the AT&T wireless page for Consumer Affairs, and you're going to see that they have over 1,000 negative reviews, because there's the 1-star and 2 stars are negative reviews. And the list goes on and on. I mean, I can share with you a few more. Here, I'll share with you Dish Network. Dish Network is a cable provider that most people know about. You hear about them all the time. You may even use them. You can see here on Dish Network that they have over 2,200 negative reviews, 1 stars and 2 stars. Now, if you're using Dish Network and you're hearing this for the first time that they have these complaints, you're not going to go out and switch Dish Network, because Dish Network probably is doing a great job for you. You know, you're getting good value, you're getting your service. When you turn the cable on, it comes on and you're happy. And just because Kristen of Boiling Springs, South Carolina had a complaint doesn't mean anything, because obviously Dish Network has millions of customers, and the fact that a couple thousand people that Consumer Affairs didn't even validate are putting up a review really is inconsequential to you. Okay. Now I'm not going to go through all these, but I am going to share a few more with you. Best Buy has over 400 negative reviews. eBay has over 500 negative reviews. Sprint PCS, another big cell phone provider, has over 1,400 negative reviews. Dell Computers customer service has over 550 negative reviews. GE Appliances over 450. State Farm Auto Insurance almost 500. Time Warner Cable has over 900 negative reviews. Comcast Cable has over 1,400 reviews. Now, if you've used any of these service providers in the past, or you're currently using them, just know that they have negative reviews on this site, and none of those businesses have decided to pay Consumer Affairs to dispute those reviews, because they don't want to be held hostage. The fact of the matter is, by charging companies exorbitant amounts of money, like Consumer Affairs is trying to charge these companies, and they shouldn't be allowed to do it. But of course, freedom of speech is one of the primary rights we have here in this country, and I don't want to bash that, but the fact of the matter is, these guys are misleading consumers to make decisions about their purchasing decisions that are not based upon facts. They're based upon fiction. And so, if you want people to do proper research, what you need to do, if you want to help people to understand how good Ambit Energy is and why you feel the way you feel about Ambit Energy, is you need to take them to sites like the Better Business Bureau. The Better Business Bureau obviously, has been around for a long time. Ambit Energy is a part of the Better Business Bureau, is an accredited business, and we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Okay, been in business for 8 years. We've got over 1.2 million customers at this time, and we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. You can go down and you can see the reasons for the rating. You can actually go here and read it, and they tell you the exact reasons for the rating. They say the length of time in business they've been operating, the complaint volume filed with the BBB for the business of this size, response to 430 filed complaints against the business, and the resolution of those complaints. So what they're doing is they're measuring the interaction between Ambit and the consumer and the customer that has a complaint. And you can see here that 435 complaints have been closed by the Better Business Bureau in the last 3 years. 224 have been closed in the last 12 months. That means they've been closed, they've resolved those complaints with those consumers, and that's now a closed file. So I just want you to understand that the Better Business Bureau is an organization that is a much better measure of customer satisfaction and how Ambit handles customer complaints or customer service related issues. Okay, another place you would want to go for customer service information would be J.D. Powers. J.D. Powers is a global research firm, and what they do is what they've done recently is they've went out and they've surveyed a group of energy customers in these different states: Connecticut, Illinois, Maryland, Mass, up in the Northeast, as you can see, even in Texas. And in 2014, Ambit Energy, based upon the survey of those customers, Ambit Energy was ranked #1 in Connecticut, We were ranked number 1 in New Jersey. We were ranked number 1 in Pennsylvania. That's out of all energy suppliers. That's out of all the energy suppliers. They went to the customers, they surveyed those customers, and those customers are saying that Ambit Energy is the best. Okay, so you can't buy that type of advertising. JD Powers didn't require us to pay them tens of thousands of dollars to try to improve our rankings within those surveys. The fact is, that's how the customers responded to an independent party surveying them. Okay, and in 2000, this is 2014, so that was last year. They'll do it in 2015 again, but in 2013 we were ranked number 1 in New York State. So. And then the last place you might want to go to check out some credibility, some third-party validation is, Inc. magazine. If you haven't heard it, Inc. In 2010, Ambit Energy was ranked as the number 1 fastest-growing company, privately held company in America. Okay, that's out of over millions and millions of companies in the United States. Ambit was ranked number 1 based upon their growth. They take a 3-year look back and they put it into a percentage of growth, and they compared it to all the other companies, and Ambit blew away the competition and was number 1 as the fastest growing privately held company in America. Okay, so I hope you understand, number 1, that Consumer Affairs is not a government, state, federal government related site. It has nothing to do with the government. It's a privately held company that sells advertising, and businesses into paying them thousands of dollars so that they can properly respond to these online reviews. Lastly, I want you to understand that every big company you've probably done business with, including AT&T, Verizon, Sprint, DirecTV, Dell, Microsoft, State Farm Insurance, Dish Network, Time Warner Cable, Comcast Cable, Home Depot, Apple, all of these companies have negative reviews, in the hundreds or even thousands of negative reviews. But the fact of the matter is that companies like Ambit have over 1.2 million customers, and on the Ambit, consumer review site, Consumer Affairs review site, we have only 161 complaints over the entire time we've been in business. Only 161 out of 1.2 million customers. That's a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a percent. It's so small and inconsequential that it's almost hard to even calculate. It's that small. Okay, so I hope this helps you to understand what Consumer Affairs really is, because they are not a government site. How to handle those issues when your friends and family do come up and have questions about it. And I hope that helps you out, and I also gave you some information on sites to go to, like the Better Business Bureau, JD Powers, and Inc. magazine for the Inc. 500. So hope this helps you out. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.